I want to talk about Elon Musk and his views on the future because recently Elon Musk talked about his views on the future in several interviews and also in some of his posts on X. So honestly, what he said was pretty shocking, and because he's not just a normal company boss and not just the richest man in the world. In my opinion, he is slowly becoming a leader of human civilization or even a builder of it. So when Elon Musk talk about the future, it's usually not just imagination. It feels more like a blueprint, a vision he actually plans to make real. And the key point is he probably has the power to do it, right? I think he might be the only one, the only guy in the world who can make these all the things, crazy things come true. And just look at the companies he controls, like Tesla, SpaceX, XAI, Neuralink, stuff like this and more. If you look closely, you realize he's building a highly connected productivity system. The goal of this system is to rebuild human civilization from the ground up. So, because things like Robux, artificial intelligence, Starlink, and the crazy Mars plan directly affect how human society exists in the future, right? Take Starlink as an example. On the surface, it looks like it's just about global internet coverage, but behind that, there's a much bigger goal. The goal is to deploy AI satellite clusters in this space. Everyone knows the biggest bottleneck for AI development is computing power and energy, right? And the largest source of energy humans can ever get doesn't come from Earth. Almost all energy on Earth actually comes from the sun. So deploying AI in space may be an inevitable trend. From this point alone, you can see how far ahead Musk is thinking. Most people are still focused on problems on Earth, basically issues of a Type One civilization. But Elon Musk designs are already based on a Type Two civilization. Once you understand these starting points, many of his actions suddenly make sense. So sometimes you might feel he's doing huge things, but you don't really see the use right now. For example, why does he keep launching rockets, right? That's because these things are not designed for a Type 1 civilization. So it's normal that we don't really need them yet. At a fundamental level, Elon Musk is no longer a traditional entrepreneur. He's not just designing products or providing servers. He's trying to redesign human civilization itself, a Type 2 civilization. So, of course, all of this is still at a very early stage, and the future itself is not easy to see clearly. That's why, in many interviews, Elon Musk shows a lot of concern and anxiety. For example, he often talks about how AI may completely change the structure of human labor in the near future. And this part is directly related to you and me. Elon Musk predicts that within less than 20 years, before like 2046, 45, with the rapid development of AI and Robux, most human jobs will disappear. Work itself may still exist, but humans will no longer be needed to do. If you still want to work, you can do it, but no one will pay you for it. Work will become a hobby. Think about playing football. For a few people, it's a job, but for most people, it's entertainment. In the future, only people at a very high level might still be able to work for money, but they won't be needed in large numbers. Most people will work just for fun. That sounds great, right? But there's a huge crisis hidden in this. When survival no longer depends on work, humans may face a serious identity crisis. For the past 200,000 years, from the birth of humans Until today, most people have lived to survive. The form changed, but the core didn't. Ancient humans hunted. Later, people farmed and raised animals. Modern humans work jobs to earn money. At the deepest level, most of what we do is about survival. That's why people spend the best time of their day and even their life working. When you are awake, your best hours are spent at work. From age like 20 to 60, the best years of your life are spent working because survival comes first. But Elon Musk says this will change completely within just the next 20 years. That means children born today, when they turn 20 and are ready to work, may find there are no jobs left. Once robots become cheaper than humans, the question becomes, what should humans do? We've been working for 200,000 years, so suddenly being told we don't need to work anymore will be very hard for many people to accept. But I think there's already a positive side. People are slowly starting to understand this. We often say the Gen Z or Gen Alpha don't want to work, but that's exactly this point. In the future, there may truly be no work to do. Even if you want to work, there may be no opportunity. Older generations, like people born in the 70s or 80s, find this hard to understand because for their parents, not working was simply impossible. From birth, they were told, you must work, you must find a good job, or you won't have a future. This mindset continued through the 70s and 80s generations. By the 90s generations, things started to change because the previous generations had already accumulated some wealth. So some people could choose not to work and live a different kind of life. This may not be understood by older generations, but it could be a preview of the future. So when people ask if humans don't work, what will we do? Um, just just look at the Gen Z and Gen Alpha today. What they are doing now, maybe what people do in the future, just in a pure form. Of course, this is the final stage. The transition will be painful because change doesn't happen all at once. In the best case, robots replace everyone's jobs instantly, but really doesn't work like that. Robots will replace jobs step by step. For example, self-driving replace self drivers first. Drones replace delivery workers. Drivers and couriers lost their jobs first. So how they survive becomes a very real and serious problem. Elon Musk is deeply worried about this too, but there's no easy solution. This is the inevitable direction of progress. Just like during the Industrial Revolution, machines replaced craftsmen and many people lost their job overnight. Progress always eliminates some professions. So if you think your job is easy to replace by AI or robots, preparing early. This change may come very fast. There's no need to feel this unfair. In the end, all jobs may disappear. It's just a matter of time. After 20 years, once robots fully replace human labor, everyone may be unemployed. But at the same time, there will be no survival crisis because machines can produce everything we need. Anything you can think of, products or service, AI can provide it. Elon says that at that point, humanity will enter a stage of universal high income. Everyone will live like today's rich people. What does that mean? It means you don't need to work and you can get whatever you want. But some people worry about this future. They think Earth might become like a zoo, like animals in a zoo. Don't don't worry about survival, but they are not happy. People worry that humans may have food and clothes but feel empty and unhappy. So Elon believes future human skills won't be about survival. They will be about being interesting, curious, having taste, and the ability to explore and research. They will become the new driving forces of life.